there's always going to be people that don't quite understand or that maybe have a misconception. So I'm just going to clear it up. But my wife was smart enough to put a little description. What had happened is, you can't see it from this angle, but he's got a little mohawk right here, okay? This is the circle of life, friends. Even though we love all raptors, he was attacked by a red-tailed hawk 2 weeks ago in a hunting scenario, and the analogy would be just like a lion might come in and want to move a cheetah off of a kill. What happened was he didn't quite see it because that red-tail had just come from a eucalyptus tree and grabbed him. I got there within 8 seconds, but all I heard was a quick cry. I ran there. The vibration of me scared the hawk off. The hawk just moved off. I mean, that was an instinct. I was in his territory, so to speak. But in that, he suffered. A raptor's got 4 talons, and he got 1 in the orbital eye ring, 2 in the skull, and 1 in the sear. Bummer situation, but he couldn't have gotten grabbed in a better place in that he didn't get, in the chest or in any vitals. So I did what any responsible falconer would do. I put him on the right medication and all that, and I gave him some rest. But what happened last week in that video is I wanted to see how we could fly. You can't imagine how much this is a 9-year-old bird, and we've been through a lot. I realized that he can't see out of his right eye, but he can acclimate. He had no problem coming in and grabbing that lure. Okay, he's not going to be as efficient, but nonetheless, he can still do what he needs to do. But in that, when I took him out flying, I let him go, and we have this transmitter that we put on him, and I was getting a signal because you caught a thermal, and it was explained earlier, thermal, hot air rising. He specced out, so he was beyond anything I could see. Because it wasn't a hunting situation, I wasn't concerned about him being right overhead where he knows he needs to be. That's a hunting situation. I said, you know what, poor guy's been through a lot. Let him open his wings. Where's he going to go? He's going to come back to me. I know he will. I've got a transmitter. It's flat land. In that 20 minutes, lo and behold, I was blown away when my friend called me up and said, hey, did you lose your bird? I said, I didn't lose my bird. I'm looking at him right here. And he goes, I don't know, man. There's somebody that looks a lot like Pancho. He knows what my bird looks like. And I'm going, all right, fine. I get home. I'm just getting ready to have dinner. I click on Facebook. Can you imagine? I was like, how did this happen? How did I lose him? And then it occurred to me as I continue to read, it was on New Year's Day. There was a rainbow that day. A lady had pulled over to take a picture of the rainbow. Can't blame her. Rainbows are beautiful. And in that time, he came in, not necessarily looking at, like, I want a human as a food, but there's not a lot of places to rest around there. So he went, and it was just a coincidence and a half, landed on this lady's windshield, and the lady, just so happened, who doesn't have phones with, cameras, recorded it, and he took that, 53-second ride, and then pulled over, and then immediately afterwards, my bird's kind of bobbing around, looking around, going, okay, this ain't cool. Got up, and lo and behold, I was probably at that point thinking, like, all right, it's time for him to come home. But I'm getting a signal, right? So I know that he's out there. Swing my lure, comes right in, just like that, and I go home, and that whole thing unfolded without me even knowing. So the bird is taken care of, believe me. He's a taken care of bird, and other than sustaining a little bit of an eye injury, he's brought a little bit of joy to our family. So this is Pancho, and that went well. So I'm happy.
Thank you, sir. Cisco and Pancho. Some of us are